Hi everybody, welcome back to Junie B Jones and the Yucky Blucky Fruitcake. Today I've got a little guest with me during story time. I'll tilt the camera down so you can see. This is baby Leo. Well, he's not just a baby anymore. He's gotten to be a big boy, but he curled up with me during story time when I was reading Chrysanthemum and decided to stick around while I read a little Junie B. Today's chapter is chapter 5 called Stupid Dumb Carnival Games. Oops. Well, wasn't in the last chapter, wasn't she practicing to win some of these games? Maybe she's going to learn in this chapter that practicing doesn't always mean you're going to win. But anyway, it's Carnival night, so here she goes. Carnival night was Friday after dinner. Daddy drove me and Mother there in a car, only not baby Ollie, 'cause he is a fuss budget, that's why. I unbuckled my seatbelt and looked out the window. Hey, I said, look at all the lights on the playground. It looks like a real alive carnival out there. I looked harder. And guess what else? There are clowns at this place. Only don't let me get near them, okay? Because clowns are not normal, I think. I don't like clowns either. Hey, there's my bestest friend named Lucille, I yelled. I hurried up out of the car. Lucille, hey Lucille, look, it's me. It's Junie B Jones. I'm at Carnival night. Me and Lucille runned at each other. She had red hearts painted on her face. Look at me, Junie B. Look how beauteous I am, she said. I just got my face painted by Mrs. Hall, the art teacher. She puckered her lips at me. And see my lips? My Nana put red lipstick on them so they would match my hearts. Lucille's lips were shiny and slickish. I tried to touch the bottom one, but Lucille said, don't smudge me. Just then, Mother and Daddy caught up with me. Daddy had bought tickets for all the carnival games. Ready to get started, he said. Yes, I said, because I've been waiting for this exciting evening my whole entire career. I runned and run till I found my most favorite game. Its name was putting the golf ball. There was a long green carpet there. The carpet had a little hole with a flagpole in it, and also there was a man holding golf clubs. I ran up to him. Guess what? I am going to win a prize at this thing, I said, because I have been practicing my putting very hard. Good for you, said the man. Then he gave me a golf club and he put a teeny white ball in front of me. It was the teeniest ball I ever saw. I looked at it for a real long time, and then I tapped on him. I mostly just putt grapefruit, I explained. The man did a frown. Hurry up, okay? There are other children waiting, he said. Yeah, only I can also use a dinner roll, I told him. Please, he grouched, just hit the ball. And so that's how come I felt pressure inside of me. And I swinged the golf club way back far, and I hit the teeny ball very hard, and it zoomed right off the green carpet. Then it flied in the air, and it bounced, and people shouted the words of, ouch! Wonder if it bounced on their heads. I gave the man back his golf club. Then me and Mother and Daddy rushed out of there very fast. Mother looked upset. Why don't we try a game where she can't actually kill someone, she said. Hey, I know a game where I can't actually kill someone, I shouted. Its name is Clothespins in a Bottle. I runned and run till I found it. Clothespins, please, I said to the lady. She gave me 5 of them, and then she told me all the instructions. Just hold the clothespins at waist level and drop them one at a time into this milk bottle, she said. She put an empty milk bottle down at my feet. It had a little tiny hole at the top where the milk pours out. Drop 2 clothespins in the bottle and you win a prize, she said. I stared and stared at the little hole. How come that hole is so little, do you think? I asked the lady. I don't know, she said. Just go ahead and start. I scratched my head. Yeah, only I don't even know how cows can squirt their milk into such a teeny thing, I said. The lady tapped her foot. There are other children waiting, she told me. I looked up at her. Have you ever thought about using a bucket? I asked. Just go, she grouched. And so then I felt pressure inside of me again, and I hurried to drop my clothespins into the teeny hole. Only every single one of them fell right on the floor, and my eyes got tears in them. See, I said, I told you that dumb hole was too little. Just then a clown saw me being sad, and he grinned his giant smile at me. I hid behind Mother's skirt. Don't let him get near me, I told her. Only the clown run right over, and he peeked his white face close to me. His teeth were big and yellowish. Back off, clown, I shouted. That's what I'd be shouting too. I do not like clowns. They're like, I don't know if they scare me anymore, but I'm not a fan. Then Daddy closed his eyes, and Mother said the word, oh my. After that, me and Mother had a little talk. It was called, no screaming, back off, clown. Only I never even heard of that rule before. My nose got sniffly. Carnival night isn't being fun, I said, very sad. And so that's how come Daddy bought me an ice cream cone, and Mother bought me a red balloon. Only too bad for me, because when she handed me the string, my ice cream dropped on the ground, and my balloon string slipped right out of my fingers. I bended my head back and watched my balloon float all the way up to the sky. And then my eyes got tears in them, and I said the word. I would say poop too. Let's read another chapter because I don't like to leave on a sad note where she says poop. So let's read chapter 6. It's called Bullseye. Carnival night was being the worstest night of my life. That's because I kept on losing at every single game. I lost at penny toss, I lost at ring toss, and I also lost at the stupid fishing booth. Except all you have to do is hang a fishing pole over the table and somebody puts a toy on your pole. Only I just got a stupid dumb comb on my pole and that's all. Hey, what kind of stupid prize is this? I said. The stupid dumb comb isn't even a toy because I can't even play with this stupid dumb thing. Daddy sat me down on a bench. Me and him had another talk. It was called Stop Saying the Words Stupid and Dumb. And also, I have to appreciate my comb. Do you know what that means? Appreciate, it means be glad that you have it because it was like a gift or a surprise. She didn't expect it, but you still have to say thank you. Just then, I heard a voice holler at me. Junie B. Jones, hey, Junie B. Jones, I've been looking all over the place for you. I turned around, and it was my other bestest friend, that Grace. She was holding lots of stuff in her hands. Look, Junie B, look at all my prizes. I won a shiny plastic car and some pretty barrettes and a delicious red lollipop and 2 rubber bugs and an eraser that looks like a hot dog. See them? See all my good stuff? Yeah, so, I said. That Grace did a frown at me. How come you said, yeah, so? How come you're grouchy at me, Junie B? And why are you just sitting there on this bench? I did a mad breath. I'm appreciating my comb, that's why. Don't you know anything, Grace? Just then, Daddy walked me away from that Grace. And he said, I better shape up, little missy, or we're going home right now. Mother told Daddy to calm down his blood pressure. We have 3 tickets left, she said. Let's all take some deep breaths and start all over again. What do you think, Junie B? Do you want to try the sponge throw? That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Then Mother held my hand, and me and her went to find the sponge throw, and Daddy kept on doing deep breaths. The sponge throw was right in the middle of the playground. Principal was there. He was standing behind a board with a big clown suit painted on the front of it. Only instead of a face, there was a round hole cut in the board. The principal's head was sticking out of it. His face and hair were very drippity. That's because kids kept on hitting him with sponges. It looked like the funnest game I ever saw. I hurried up and got in line. Except for just then, something very terrible happened. And its name is That Jim I Don't Like got in line right behind me. Boo, he said. You did not scare me, Jim, I said. Yes, I did too. No, you did not. Yes, I did too. And anyway, you shouldn't even be in this line because girls can't throw sponges as good as boys, he said. Yes, they can too, I said, because I even practiced this game at my house. And I made a bullseye right in my toilet pot. So there. That mean Jim laughed real loud. P.U. Junie B plays in her toilet, he hollered. And so all the other kids started laughing too. Just then the sponge lady tapped on me. And she handed me 2 soaky wet sponges. Your turn, sister, she said. Only I just kept standing there because all those meanie kids wouldn't stop laughing at me. Guess what? I don't even know if I can throw these things now because all that laughing is ruining my self-esteem, I said. Sorry, sis, either throw the sponges or get out of line, the lady told me. And so finally I took a big breath and I aimed my sponge at Principal's baldy head and I throwed with all my muscles. Missed him, you missed him, said that Jim. That's how come my temperature boiled over. And I quickly spun around and I throwed my other sponge right at that meanie boy's face. And it hit him right in the kisser. Bullseye! I shouted very happy. And I run out of that place as fast as I could because I was in big trouble. That's why. And there she is running away from Jim. That must be, I don't know if that's Jim's mother or Jimmy's mother. There's old Principal back there. And there's Junie's daddy. Uh-oh, let's find out what happens to her. Junie B. Jones, yelled Mother. Junie B. Jones, yelled Father. I runned and run till I saw the giant Moonwalk tent. Then I climbed quickly inside of it, and I throwed my shoes out the door because of no shoes allowed in there. The Moonwalk tent is like a big puffy house, and you can jump far and wide in that place. I jumped and jumped till sweat came on my head. This is the funnest jumping I ever saw, I said, very springy. Except for just then the tent lady blew her whistle. Time's up, she yelled. I peeked out the door. Mother and Daddy were waiting for me. They weren't smiling. I think I'll stay in here, I said. Only just then Daddy came over and he lifted me right out the door. I smiled very pleasant. Hello, how are you today? I said. But Daddy didn't say hello. He just carried me right back to that mean Jim. Then he made me say apology to him and also to his mother. Sorry, I throwed a sponge at your meanie boy's face, I said. Daddy rolled his eyes way far back in his head. He carried me back to the moon tent again. Get your shoes, he said. We're going home. Yeah, only I was just starting to have fun, I said. Plus, I didn't even do the cakewalk yet, and it is in my very own room 9. I told you to get your shoes, Daddy said grumpily. And so I went to the shoe pile, but I could only find one shoe and not the other one. I tapped on the tent lady. Can you help me find my other shoe? See what they look like? They are shiny and black with a strap that buckles. Their name is Pat and Leather. It's really patent leather. It's the kind of material that the shoe's made of. But she calls her shoes Pat, and then the other one Leather. Then me and her and Mother and Daddy looked for my other shoe, but we couldn't find it anywhere. Darn it, I said, now my feet are ruined. And I started to cry a teeny bit. Then Daddy smoothed my hair, and he said the word, don't worry. You and Mother go on to the cakewalk, he said. I'll stay here and find your other shoe. And so then Mother holded my hand, and me and her walked to room 9 with just Pat and no Leather. Tomorrow in the next story time, I'll read the chapter called Winning, and this is when Junie B wins. You know what she's going to win in the cakewalk? Well, the title of the cake, the title of the story is the Yucky, Blucky Fruitcake, so I'm thinking she's going to win a fruitcake. But we'll have to find out in our next story time. Until I see you, have a great day.